The better place would be here with me. The better place would be not dead. If you're watching this, that means that somebody you know has lost somebody that they love. And that can be a bit tricky. If you yourself have lost somebody, you know how hard it can be to deal with the grieving process, obviously. But something that's not quite equally as difficult, but is still hard to navigate, is helping somebody who you love navigate the grieving process when it's not like personally affecting you. So I just wanted to give you guys a couple of little tips on how you can help somebody you love grieve somebody that they love. Hopefully in a way that is tasteful and supportive and loving. Now here's something that I would hope goes without saying. This is from my experience and my experience alone. I can just confirm that from myself and some of the people in my life who I've talked to that have experienced grief, we all kind of like these things, more or less. Here are some things that I think can help you help someone else. Number one, do not ever say, well, at least they're in a better place. No, they're not. The better place would be here with me. The better place would be not dead. As a subset to that one, don't say, well, they lived a good long life. You can let the person who's dealing with the grief say that and be like, yes, totally. But don't you be the one to be like, oh, your grandma died? Well, at least she was 87. No, I don't want her to die ever, if that's an option. Long life doesn't matter unless the person says it. Here's some things you can say. I'm so sorry for your loss. This sucks. How are you feeling? Is there anything I can do to support you? Would you like to talk about this person? I love you. This sucks. I'm here for whatever you need. I'm happy to be your shoulder to cry on or scream into. We've gone over the things that you should or shouldn't say. Another thing you shouldn't say, but I felt like it deserved its own little category, is asking how the person died. Now, this obviously, I think, depends on your level of comfort with this person. When my dad died and like my best friends asked what happened, obviously, because it's shocking and they know my dad and they love my dad and it was a very, very big surprise. Also, that they were in the hospital. They came to like support me and hang out with me for a bit in the hospital. So they sort of knew, but like when they came and said, oh my God, what happened? That's a very different story than like somebody's brother's friend being like, how'd they die? Because I get it. I'm not gonna like pretend that it's not morbidly fascinating, but it's not cool. Let that person tell you what happened. Might be a day, it might be the second you see them, it might be in 2 weeks. It might be never. They might not want to talk about it with you, and that's okay too. Another thing, some people really, really, really don't want to talk about it right away. They want to do anything that doesn't have to do with their loved one dying. Because even if they're not talking about it, it's still the only thing they're thinking about. It's still the only thing that is surrounding their life, be it with planning a funeral or writing a eulogy or being super unbelievably depressed. That's all they're thinking about. So if they need somebody who will like come over and watch TikToks with them for 4 hours, be that person. If they're looking for somebody to watch the whole Twilight series with so that they can simply turn off their brain for a couple hours, be that person. Also, when being this person, hopefully you've said some of the things we talked about saying already, but make sure that you say, hey, do you want to talk about what's going on or do you want to not talk at all? Unless they've explicitly said, yes, I want to talk about it, or no, I don't want to talk about it, sometimes it's really nice to just ask. Another thing, Mike Birbiglia has a really, really great bit about this. About sympathy cards. He says something to the effect of, you know, I always found sympathy cards so weird. It's like, oh, I know that you're going through the deepest loneliness of your life, but here's a picture of a daffodil. To me, sympathy cards, while I understand, are a beautiful gesture, and if that's what you're gonna do, for sure, if the sentiment is there, obviously. But something that I remember my friend Julie did in high school was she wrote me a handwritten letter. It wasn't like 10 pages long, it was just a page long letter about the memories that she had with my dad and how sorry she was for my loss and that she was there for me. And seeing that somebody took the time to actually write that out, Beautiful, beautiful. Another thing that you can do, make that person food. Make that person so much food, or buy them food if you don't want to cook it. When somebody in your life passes away, it's likely that you're not going to be super hungry. You're too sad, your mind is everywhere else in the world. It's probable that you're not going to be eating too much. So to not have to worry about where your next meal is going to be or having to go to the store or anything like that, like that was so huge for my family and I. We had dinner together every night. So like we were so used to getting to like share this family meal. Now my dad's gone. Now it's just the three of us and we're not eating. Like everything is up in the air. No, thank you. So when people would come by and drop off, like I remember my brother's girlfriend at the time was very sweet. She made us baked ziti, she made us salad, she made us sandwiches, she made us pasta salad, she made us fruit salad, a lot of salads. She just made so much food so that like we never had to, like she probably fed us for a full week, breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything in between. And just like, oh my God, having to not worry about that. Like even if you just like, if your friend's parent dies and you're just like, I'm getting Chipotle, what do you want? Amazing. Or if you don't want to ask them, you don't want to bother them, just say, hi, I brought Chipotle. Like, hi, I made you brownies. Hi, I made you sandwiches. Hi, I did this. Hi, I made you some frozen breakfast burritos that you can pop in the microwave. Having food is so important. Bring them food. Please bring them food. Make sure they're drinking a lot of water. That's a little tricky. Staying hydrated can be not fun and definitely not on the forefront of your mind. It also makes you feel worse gradually. So like on top of dealing with the deepest loneliness of your life, you have a headache? No, thank you. So make sure you are bringing them food and water and things like that. It's like, I cannot tell you how wonderful that was for me and my family. I remember my mom, you know, having to deal with planning a funeral, losing her husband, her kids don't have a dad anymore. Like, you know, she was obviously going through so much. And I remember one of the things I remember her so clearly saying like every day was, wow, I'm so grateful people are bringing this food. The last thing I want to do is cook a meal. So thank you to everyone who brought us food. In reference to that, a very beautiful human instinct that we have that I love and think is so wonderful is we all want to send flowers, which I get, 100%. They're beautiful, they smell good, they bring some life into the house, much needed. Too dark. I get it, but I'm gonna tell you something. To anybody who is not watching this video, they can send the flowers. They're sending flowers. You wanna know what you send? An edible arrangement. Yes, I know. It's genius. We got, I think when my dad died, we maybe got 2 or 3 edible arrangements. Here's the thing, flowers are not bad. Flowers are beautiful. They're very nice, but they kind of don't do anything. So, when you send somebody a beautiful bouquet that is colorful and is cool looking and does bring some cheer, but you can also eat it, and it's good, like healthy fruit. Like, I can't tell you how many like daffodil pineapples I had. That was really cool. Like I remember me, my mom, my brother, my mom's parents were there. My dad's brother had come in, like people were sifting in and out through the house. And we got the first edible arrangement and literally like my dad had just died. We were all like, an edible arrangement. Look at that. An edible arrangement. Like it's a game changer. That is always my number one, like if somebody tells me that their friend or significant other or somebody is going through the grieving process, I'm always like, just send an edible arrangement. Like, and I think that they're relatively well priced. I think you can get ones for like $30. So if you do want to send something and you do have some cash that you can put towards it, I would highly suggest an edible arrangement. It is very nice. I can't say this enough times. Be there for the person. Be there for the person. Call them, text them, send them funny memes on Instagram, send them TikToks you think they'll like, FaceTime them, go check on them at their house. And also, hopefully you know this, Hopefully this isn't like, oh, I never thought of that. Don't take anything personally. If they don't text you back, if they don't call you back, if they're a little snippy with you, if they don't want to talk about stuff, if they're not asking about you, don't take it personally. I bet your friend is great and they're gonna be wonderful and open and loving and like let you know what's going on with their emotions, but just in case they're not, this isn't about you. Obviously, if you haven't heard back from them in like 6 days, go check on them. Another one, don't be uncomfortable. It's not really up to you. Talking about dead people isn't always the most fun thing in the world. Just listen. Just listen. Because like when somebody dies, you go through so many emotions. You don't know how to deal with it. You just don't. And you need somebody to work through it with, which brings me to another point. Don't like you be afraid to bring it up either. Like I remember I told you in my first good grief video, one time my friend was like, out of the blue, was like, I really miss your dad. And I was like, oh, that's so nice to know that I'm not the only one. If at the time I was uncomfortable with it, I'd be like, I know I do too, thank you, but I'd prefer we didn't talk about that right now. And she would have been 1,000% fine with that. But at the time, I wanted to talk about it. It made me happy that she brought him up. So like, if you loved your friend's cousin and you had the best time with them, you can say like, I really, really love spending time with them and I miss them a lot. How are you doing today with that? I just really, really strongly urge you to feel it out, be there for that person, try to make them laugh if you can, if it's been a little bit, and just let them know you love them and that you're sorry. I hope this helped. Death is never easy, nor is it ever fun, especially when you are trying to help somebody else deal with it, because everybody's little hearts are different and wired in specific ways, and it can be hard to figure out the right little formula to get in there, but I have a feeling that you will, and I hope you guys like this video. If you would like other videos like this in the wonderful world of grieving, you let me know, and I will try my best to make those happen. I love you very much. Thank you for watching, and give your friend a very big hug if they're into physical touch. Bye.